Hello. The following video contains very hard truths people need to accept. Be warned. And take action. Hi, there is something we need to talk about that affects the whole of the disabled community. If you want to help disabled people, continue watching, because with the whole of the United States working to get this stuff passed and working to get this stuff into legislation being brought before the Congress and the House, we may have a chance to better the country for disabled people. Okay. So, since the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed, there have been income limitations and asset limitations for people on SSI. And for people on SSDI, there is only income limitations. Now, there is a difference between the two. SSDI, you have to work for 10 years, getting 4 work credits a year to qualify for. So in total, you need 40 work credits for people who were not born with a disability. For people who were born with a disability, you only need 6. But that's kind of difficult to achieve. The reason that's difficult to achieve is because disabled people on SSI and SSDI have an income limitation. For those of you who don't know, SSI is Supplemental Security Income. It's for people who are deaf, blind, disabled in any way that affects your daily life, but it cannot be just any disability. It has to meet a certain criteria: physical, mental, neurological. Those are the 3 things they go by, or chronic illness. So an SSDI is Social Security Disability Income. SSDI gives people more money than SSI, but you have to meet those criteria that I mentioned before. There are 6 credits for disabled people and 40 credits for non-disabled people. I only have 2 work credits, but I am unable to find employment. I had a job that I loved, but had to leave because of chronic illness. What else? So the SSI income limitation is $2,000 and something amount. I don't know the exact amounts. I will leave a link down below to that page that says the exact amount. But we can only earn $80 without money being taken out of our checks, our SSI checks. They punish us for working, but punish us for not working. Sorry. And people on SSI have an asset limitation of only $2,000. Now, there is currently a bill that was introduced last year in April. Sorry, I had to pause the video and use my weather for a little bit. That income limit is only $2,000 and something odd cents. same as the asset limit is the same as the income limit. But if you're on SSDI, you don't have an asset limitation. So again, there was legislation that was introduced last year on April 1st. It's still in the House Committee of Ways and Means. And it was introduced in the Senate at the exact same time. The same bill was introduced in the Senate, and it has bipartisan support. And it has not been brought to life yet. That bill would increase the asset limitation for SSI recipients to $10,000. But right now, the only way to get around that asset limitation is to have an ABLE account set up. An ABLE account is an Achieving a Better Life Experience account. Different states have the same program. But with that, we can have $100,000 before it counts as assets. But we shouldn't have to have those. We should be granted the same rights as every American citizen. Now let's go back to the income limitation. We can only earn $80 before $1 is taken out of our Social Security checks for every $2 we earn. So while that might not seem like much, the standard job pays at least $10 to $15 an hour. So if you are working 4-hour days, you're earning at least $40 to $45. Couple that with Trump's big beautiful bill that requires disabled people who are able to work 20 hours a week. That would be $200 an hour, $200 a week. So we'd be losing $100 per paycheck out of our SSI checks and SSDI because they fall under the same income limitations. Now, we are not earning thousands of dollars being on SSI. We are only earning $964 a year for some of us, depending on the state. Take that into account. We lose money for every $2 we earn in regular paychecks. That should not be happening. I want to try to spread awareness about this. Have you guys learn different stuff about disability. Me, I have autism and a chronic illness called interstitial lung disease. I want to walk. I cannot walk without risk of losing my SSI check, without risk of losing my insurance. Make that make sense. A lot of physically disabled people want to walk, especially those who just have a mental illness. We want to walk. So help us be able to walk by contacting your senators in the federal government, your congressmen and women in the federal government, telling them to pass bills to help support disabled people. Please